Peace, family. Peace, 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 peace. Never mind. Okay, so I hope you guys are having a phenomenal day. If not, do understand and get that your day is going to get better once your perception gets better. And it's funny because the more I work on me, the more I see that at times I don't want to do the videos. Okay, and it's not like, I don't want to do them. It's more so, like not wanting to be seen under my vulnerability, or me not wanting to be seen because, it's like this person I'm getting to know of, right? It's like all the belief systems that I may have believed in, I understand that they are not what it is. And so when I say I don't want to do the videos, sometimes I don't want to show up. As long as I'm working more on me, then it's like me not wanting to be seen. And I know that's the ego. So this morning, okay, let me share this with you guys. This morning, so a few days ago, well, actually, probably about 2 weeks ago, I was online and I was looking for a job, right? Every now and then I go through this phase where as though I'm like, well, if I could work, if I could make money, and I know that's like a belief system. I know that's like, thank you. I know there's a belief system. I know there's, other people's ideas of saying to me that I need to work. And what I'm doing, they don't consider is work, but that's okay. We'll talk about that another time. So I had not filled out an application, but one of the ladies, I told you guys a transitional, program that I was once in, right? St. Joseph's. And I was there for about 16 months over there. And I'm looking back because I'm like, maybe he know me. I'm telling you guys, like, when you start walking a lot, it does something. You start talking to people that's on the same exact frequency as you. You're going to start noticing things. So getting back to what I was previously saying. So this, and it's funny because I was like, you know what? I don't want to do this video. And I had got this download. Nope, do the video. So that's why I'm doing it. So anywho, I had, contacted, the hiring person, over the job or whatever. And she called me last week and I missed the call. And I had this idea going back and forth with myself. No, I shouldn't take a job because where I am on my journey right now, me working on me is more important than money. Okay, remember what I said, okay? 3 things when I read that book, The Mystic Path to Cosmic Power. Happiness, peace, then money. Okay? And so I'm getting sidetracked. and so I missed the call, and then I called her back, and the lady who's hiring, I called her back, and when I called her, she wasn't in. And then yesterday, I was in the shower, I was thinking, should I have, maybe I should call them, whatever, it was like that. And the next minute I know, 1 second. So the next minute I know, she called me soon as I got out the shower. And I said, oh, shoot, you gotta be at a good headspace for this to work. Because if you eat and stuff, right, or if you, and I'm still learning, okay? But if you're doing certain things, you're gonna see why certain things was not working. So anywho, so I gets on the phone with the hiring person, and me and her is talking, and she's like, "Oh, Dina, did you send your resume in?" And I'm like, "No, I didn't send it in. You know, I called you last week. You was in it, whatever." So she said, "All right, send me your resume when you get a chance." So, honey, at this point, I'm like, I gotta recreate the resume because I had went through this app and I had paid like $2. Is my perfect resume. And you know, you pay $2. First they say the resume is free. You pay the $2, and then every month they start charging you, right? So they charged my card. It didn't go through a few times or whatever it was. And then after that, I said, oh shoot, now I'm gonna have to use another email address, whatever it was, to get, you know, to do the resume again. So I did the resume again, and I sent it to her. And the reason why I was gonna take this job, it was just for me to pay for my son's tutoring. That was it. And I told you guys, like, I'm part of this group named Self-Perfected. And one of the guys, Jude, I love Jude, like, dearly. Like, he is really amazing. But Jude kept saying, because I kept telling Jude, like, I don't want to work, right? Basically, that's what I was saying. Like, I don't want to work. I don't want to do it. Because going back, looking at my life, okay? This is not me just saying, oh, well, you know, I just don't want to work. No, I done tried it, and I had seen certain things don't work for me. And that's why I'm saying, pay attention to your journey, because your journey is unique. Other people may try to tell you, no, you need to do this, you need to do that. You got to do what Source is telling you to do, what the universe is telling you to do, not what other people is telling you to do. So, to make a long story short, the lady, the hiring person, she contacted me yesterday. You know, first she told me she didn't receive my resume after I sent it. So I said, all right, well, I'm going to try to do it again. So I sent it. She finally got it. And this morning, I had this strong feeling of, that's not where I'm at. And for me to send her an email. And I had so many ideas going on in my mind. Should I send this email stating that I don't want the job? And one of the ideas was like, well, if you don't take this job, that's the ego. If you don't take this job, then I guess you just gonna borrow money, right? And I was like, nope, things gonna work out. Things are going to work out. So basically, I sent the email and I apologize for wasting her time. And I said, where I'm at on my journey, this is not it. Like, I'm working more on me than money could ever give. Money, see, this is the idea. This is what you guys got to understand. I know a lot of times we want so much money, right? I do too. Okay, I do too. And I like money, okay? And even I say I love money. But this is what you have to understand. Money is an idea. Okay, do it really make sense you working and you are so unfulfilled, so unhappy, but because you making a paycheck, you just settling? Like, do that make sense? Does that make sense? You so unhappy, you so unfulfilled, you hate your life, you hate doing the thing, and so because you hate it, and because you settling for the money, you masking a problem, whether it's through drinking, drinking, drugs, shopping, eating, because now you're trying to mask it, right? When in all actuality is something bigger that you're supposed to be doing. But because society have told you time and time again that, if you don't work, you're a bum. Now, I'm not saying this is for everybody, okay? You gotta always do what works for you and what makes sense to you. And look back at your life and say, you know what? Certain things don't make sense. Certain things don't add up. Or look back and say, I remember when I listened to somebody else. And how did my life turn out? As opposed to listening to Source. How did my life turn out? And when you see how your life turned out, you can say, I'm not doing that again. See, I remember when I decided to quit Uber, and I said, you know what, I'm going to just do YouTube videos. I called my mother. I was ecstatic. I was, so happy. And that was last year, March. And I said, I'm just going to do YouTube videos. And one of the things my mother said was, well, Dina, how that don't work? You like going places? What about life insurance? I never heard my mother talk about life insurance a day in my life. But, she was saying, what about life insurance? What about all these different things? And I said, no, because I'm sick of doing this. I'm sick of, feel like I'm just chasing money. I'm working more on that than on myself. I go through these ideas and things like that, whatever, but it's for me to start seeing certain things work and certain things don't work. And so as I'm talking to my mother, me and my mother stopped talking behind her. I stopped calling her because I just was like, this is what you have to get. Some people ain't gonna understand the decisions that you tend to make. They're not gonna get it. And I remember when me and my mother started talking out, after I wasn't talking to my mother for a few months, because I felt like she was telling me, in other words, what I could manifest. That's how I felt. And although I knew, the things that I do, I knew, it works. I know it works. And, because my mother, I stopped talking. And then later on, I caught myself doing Uber again. And I was justifying it. Oh, I'm doing this so I could take my children places. And then after that, it's like this feeling, this is not really what you're supposed to be doing because of the past experiences. Then I caught myself eating stuff because now I'm just doing Uber Eats. And I caught myself eating stuff, going to, the restaurants. Then I started off, I'm going to just eat a little bit of this. I'm going to just eat a little bit of that. And then I got caught up in a cycle again. Working 12 hours. Working. And then the next minute, I know my car, the transmission went. Okay? And so after the transmission went, to me, I believe in synchronicities. I believe in the universe is always trying to get your attention. Life is always trying to get your attention. And it's one way or another. Either you're going to listen, go willingly, or sometimes your life is going to be very chaotic. And you still going to go, though. So I looked at that past experience, and I looked at the time when I took a job, even though I didn't want to work. And I say, took the job, and then I got fired, right? So, it's like, you do what works for you. So, moral of the story, I sent the email and basically told the lady I won't take the job. It's basically for my son to get tutored. That's why I was taking the job. And where I am on my journey right now, That's not what it is. I'm working more on me than money. And sometimes what you have to understand is sometimes you like, well, I want the money, I want the money, I want the money. But I guarantee if you work more on you, all the money is going to come. Everything is going to come to you. Everything. Everything is going to come to you because you know why? Because you didn't put money on a pedestal. You didn't make it seem like money was more important than you trade in your time. You said, I'm going to work on me. Eating right. Working out. Educating myself. You said you're going to do those things. And so therefore, as you do those things, everything is going to manifest the way it's supposed to manifest. But you got to believe. You got to believe. And listen, all the noise out there, people gonna say stuff, oh, well, you just want to be on welfare. If welfare is my route that I have to take, and that's, I'm gonna do what's easiest for me, okay, in this aspect. If that's what makes sense, if I could use the food stamps to go to Whole Foods and eat organic stuff, absolutely right. Absolutely right. Why would I want to make my life hard just so I could fit into this infrastructure that don't even work? It's not even designed for you. It's not even created for you. And you want to fit in because you were afraid of what society say. You're afraid that society is going to say, you lazy, you a bum, you this, you that, you that. Know who you are. Because when those words start coming, it don't even hit. Because you know who you are. And so with that being said, family, I love you guys. Make sure you're rocking out. Make sure you're believing in yourself. And it's funny because I didn't want to do this video, and right now I'm like all the way down from like where I live, like so many blocks from where I live. But I catch you guys on the next one, and keep on going, keep on growing, keep on glowing. And this is another thing. Yesterday I was listening to Chef Barbette, okay, the 72-year-old vegan, and she was telling her story about how she had, like her whole story when she was a kid, and how she was molested because her mother was going to work and stuff like that. And her mother, listen to this, I turned this on, something kept saying, watch that video with Chef Barbette. And I said, watch the video. As I watched it a few days ago, but I for some reason, I wasn't tuned in. And so I said, all right, watch the video. So I watched it yesterday, right? And in this video, this interview that she's doing with this guy named Rich on YouTube, one of the things she started saying was that her mother was determined not to get on welfare because she didn't want that stigma. Listen, when I first realized I had to get on welfare, I cried. I cried because I knew the stigma that comes with it. But this is what you so to speak, you use the system to your advantage. And when I say you use the system, I'm not saying, do anything fraudish. What I'm saying is the way I look at my life, right? I'ma use the food stamps to eat organically. Now, do I have to? Why would I say, what? To me, it's baffling. Just whatever. So Chef Barbette, what she was saying was that because her mother was so determined to not to get on welfare, and she was like, because of the whole stigma, right? Her mother had a 3rd grade education, and her mother was like, what? I'm not getting on welfare. I'm gonna work like 3 jobs just so I won't get on welfare. And she said because of that decision, Chef Barbet and her sister, they had to go to daycare centers. People had to always watch them because the mother was always at work. And what happened was, since the mother was always at work, she got molested. Now, I'm not saying, well, that's, everybody. No, I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is, when I watched that video, for some reason, I needed to hear that. And it wasn't about her being molested. It was about the whole objective of her mother saying, she don't want to get on welfare because the stigma. So she wanted to make her life harder because of other people's perception of her, other people's opinion of her. And what I'm saying is, you have to start getting to know who you are and stop falling for a system and other people's opinion, other people's perspectives. Because if you do, you going to get up to a certain age and you going to see all this shit they done told you, it don't goddamn work. Everything they done say. Do this, work here, no, go get another job just so you could pay for the tutoring. Go get this. Now, I love my son. I love my children to the life of me. But what I'm not willing to do is, I'm not going to compromise. Like, I'm not going to, in other words, why would I settle for, paying for the tutoring, and then I get into this habit, working, when, all right, we struggle, we do what it is, and I wouldn't even call it struggling, but we do something different this time. And so therefore we could buy and do whatever the hell we want. Why? Because our minds is right. Our minds is right. Okay? We eating healthier. We taking care of our bodies. And to me, that makes more sense. And then I'm afraid, hell yeah, and I'm not going to be going here like, oh no, I got it all figured out. I don't. I'm afraid. But I know the universe got me. That I do know. Because there's so many times where as though I didn't know how things was going to happen. I didn't know where the hell the money was coming from. And then the money came. So I believe. I'm so naive when it comes to this. Naive like a child. And the more you start telling people, like, this is another thing. I was on the phone with my sister yesterday. And my sister, she, was going for a job. And she said that the people at this job, they was asking her all these questions like, do you think this job would be, good for you or whatever it is? So I told my sister, I said, why didn't you tell them no? So she said, no. And then I heard a voice coming back at me like, why didn't you tell that lady no? Why didn't you tell that lady that job isn't for you? Why didn't you tell that lady that you won't be taking that job? And then when I got in the hallway, I'm still on the phone with my sister. And as I got in the hallway, I started saying, yeah, I get it. Because I didn't tell a lady. And so now I'm like, I get why you didn't tell them no. And this is what I believe. The more you are able to tell that person, right? You know how sometimes you hear like this saying, you kiss all the frogs or whatever so you could get to, the prince or whatever it is like that. The more you are telling the jobs or whatever it is, like, this doesn't align with my morals, my integrity or whatever it is, the more you are able to say that and, communicate that effectively and tell them, right? What I believe is the universe start opening doors up, because now it's like, all right, I see that you serious about the thing that you want to manifest, the thing that you want to desire. I get it, right? And sometimes you gotta tell you gotta say it. You gotta say, this is not for me. Whether it's a relationship, whether it's a job, whether it's whatever it is. And the more you speak up with your voice shaking, or if you gotta email them, or if you gotta text them, or if you gotta text them and then block them, because you're like, I don't want them to try to discourage me. I don't want them to try to tell me, my decision that I am making at this time is wrong. And you doing all of this because you looking back at your life and you saying certain things don't work for you. Everybody's journey is different. Everybody's journey is different. You get what I'm saying? And, if somebody is telling you, no, that's not the journey you're supposed to be on. How the fuck do they know? How the fuck do they know what journey you supposed to be on? When it's you that's getting the goddamn downloads. When it's you that's up crying. When it's you, when you picturing and you see the visualizations. When it's you that's going through it. How the fuck do they know what you supposed to be doing? And it's one thing to have a mentor, a tutor, or whatever. A mentor or whatever it is. Yeah, that's one thing. But when Source is telling you, or when the universe is telling you to do something, or move this way, or move that way, you move that way. And so the question becomes, how the fuck do they know? How do they know what you're supposed to be doing? I remember I had heard Lisa Nichols say this. She said, people can't tell how your baby looks, right? Your gift, right? Metaphor. She said, because no one ever seen your gift. And you the only one who's seen your gift. Because it was brought to you through a vision. And some people may say to you, they may come up to you like, oh my goodness, the speech or whatever it is that you gave, I was so intrigued by it. It hit home. It did this for me. It did that for me. And maybe you still trying to run from it. Maybe, honey, I know you're going this way. Maybe you still trying to run from it, right? Maybe you still trying to run from because you like, I don't know, because society is telling me to go this way, right? And you're afraid. But my thing is, you had the vision for that gift, okay? It was given to you. So you do your gift. You do what you seen, not what they telling you, because they don't know. They don't know. And if you look at other people's lives, you can tell. Why listen to somebody that's gonna say, oh well, you like, well, I'm going after my dreams, and they like, well, you going after them dreams, it don't work. How you gonna do that? Where the money is gonna come from? Where's this gonna come from? It's always they keep saying, well, how this gonna happen, how that's gonna happen, because you know why? Because they don't have faith. They don't believe. They don't believe in it. They don't believe in their dreams. They don't believe in their aspirations. And so what they tell you, they keep telling you, well, how that's gonna happen. I don't know how it's gonna happen. And personally, I don't give a damn how it's gonna happen. Only thing I know, it is gonna happen. That's it. Don't know how it's gonna happen. I said I want 1.4 million YouTube subscribers. I don't know. I don't know. And I don't give a damn how it's gonna happen. But I know it's gonna happen. I know it's gonna happen. Okay? Because I'm not listening to the people that say, well, just go get a job. Just go settle. I'm not listening to them. Because I listened to them before, and what I seen was that the shit didn't work. And here it is. Here it is. It's times where as though I done been denied money, right? I go to the loan places and they denied me. Next minute I know, a month later or a few weeks later, I get an email stating, oh, you fill this out and then $500. You get $500. And it worked. And I got the $500. And what was better than me getting a loan? This $500 $500 I didn't have to pay back. I didn't have to pay the money back. And so you keep asking how. Well, when, you allowing people to put your desires on the fucking timeline. They saying, well, it didn't happen. You said 2 years. Or, damn, that didn't manifest, Jay. And I was getting caught up in it, looking at the numbers on YouTube. Damn, I ain't get there yet. I only got this. So then I started working more, right? Then I started eating more because I'm like, masking the pain and stuff. And then I remember I started listening to this CD. Well, not a CD, this playlist. And all the things that I've been hearing for so long, for so many years, about manifestation and about how what you eat, all of that plays a part in this, and how the chemicals, and I started listening to this CD, and I started doing things, taking the walks, right? And a lot of you guys know I would walk the bridge. And the reason I started walking that bridge was because my mother had a fear. My mother's fear was heights. And so I said, I want to get out of that fear. So I started walking a bridge. And I was afraid to walk it. I was actually terrified. But I kept doing it, and I kept showing up for me. And it was like, at that time, what I didn't understand, what I didn't realize was that I was putting signals out into the universe. And when I was walking the bridge, he going this way? No. Oh, okay. Oh. I think these cars probably.
Yeah, you can come around this way.
Yeah, I think he could.
Inside the laundromat.
Yeah. You're welcome. I started walking and stuff, and it was like I was afraid because I would see people, on the bridge. Then a height aspect, and I just kept doing it. I just kept showing up. I would put the stuff in my ears, my headphones on, and I would tune everything out. It feels so good because I have an aha moment of, like, even back then, the universe was like guiding me and speaking to me. And, it's like at times we just don't understand. We just like, well, that voice I'm hearing, like, do it make sense? Like, is it really my intuition or is it something else? Right? And you don't understand it. And my whole thing is that voice, that intuition, that gut feeling, not anything that's telling you to harm yourself or whatever, but the gut feeling, the voice that's probably like, get up and go get in the shower. And you probably like, but I just got out the damn shower. And you like, it don't make sense. Why should I get in there? And the reason why you should get in there is because you could get a download. Or it'll probably say, go to that bookstore. And you're like, well, why the hell would I go to that bookstore? I haven't read and whatever it is. And then you go to the bookstore. And then you start seeing, as you start doing this, your intuition becomes louder. That voice, it becomes louder. And it's just like, is certain things start happening. And you like, oh my goodness, like, how the hell was I? And you try to explain it to people, right? Like, you try to tell them, like, oh, let me tell you, what happened to me. You be so excited, you be smiling. They be thinking you crazy. They be thinking you crazy. They be thinking you on drugs or something, right? And you so ecstatic, and the reason why you're so ecstatic and so happy is because it works. Because you done did it. And you see the proof. it's not, you know, it's one thing for somebody to tell you, like, oh, you know, this works. But you start doing it and you see the proof. And the reason why I didn't, now, this is what I can say, because I had got the aha moment. The reason why, I don't think I could go that way. The reason why I didn't manifest the things that I wanted at that time, one, because I wasn't ready. Then two, listening to other people. Listening to other people tell me, no, you know, go get a job. You know, I know you're doing, you know, your social media, you're doing those, but no, that ain't working. Go get a job. And then I go get a job. And then this time, I guess this was the universe test to see, are you going to listen to me, or are you going to listen to those people? Those people who lives, they probably, good morning, they probably don't even like where they are right now. But are you going to keep listening to them? And so when I wrote the email saying, you know, I appreciate your time, but I'm not going to take the job, it was like, it was like a moment of, like, you really believe. You believe. And I'm not saying that, you know, you're not going to be faced with obstacles or adversities. I'm not saying that. But what you also have to understand is there's not a such thing as an obstacle. There's not a such thing as adversity. It's all according to how you perceive it. Is the law of polarity, and is one in its own. For every good thing, there's a bad thing. Okay, if you look for something long enough, like, you know, some people could watch this video and they could, you know, they could find all the bad things. You know, look, you pay attention long enough, you could see, you know, your mind could conjure up, you know, oh, well, look, she doing this, or she doing, or look at, you know, whatever you look for, that's what you get, because you're looking for it. But when you stop looking for it, then you don't get it, because you're not in aligned with it. And so with that being said, family, I definitely gotta go. I'll catch you guys later. I'm excited about tomorrow's video, because tomorrow I'm going to Whole Foods. And I'm excited. I'm excited. You know, and this is why I gave up my vehicle. You know, when I was financing, this is why I let them take it, because of the whole happiness, you know, thing. You know, I'm going after what fulfills me, the thing that gives me bliss. And, you know, some people may say, well, that was, you know, rather stupid. It was a lesson learned. You know, it was a lesson that needed to be learned. And that lesson was, do not listen to my inner self. Listen to my higher self. That's what's important, for me to listen to my higher self. And with that being said, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.